I think given the fact that just about everybody had a hand in making the Libra at some point, everyone would know the schematics. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we're back with another episode of Gundam Wing. I believe after we do our 2 recordings today, we'll have, 3 episodes left before we're not done, but done with the show proper.
Yeah. We are certainly in the final stretch of the show, and things are happening.
They're more action-packed than they were at the beginning, but at the same time, they're not less good, less understandable, less coherent.
Yeah, they're just rushing. Yeah, they're just rushing to the end. Let's get it done.
Well, definitely not rushing to the end. You could get to the end like 1 episode from now if you wanted to.
True. But I mean that they haven't a lot of time, so they're like, okay, we need to have this battle and this battle, right? They're not really going like, oh, by the way, let me really explain what's going on. It's like, fuck it, if you've been here for 40 some episodes, either you're on board or F you.
And Gundam Wing really could have just been a 12-episode run if they wanted.
Yeah, this could have been an email kind of anime, yeah.
Well, I just mean the world has been overthrown 4 times now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's soap opera writing. You got to keep going the story, right? Oh, okay, this guy's overthrew this. Okay, we're going to do that again. But this is the people who overthrew people then became the overthrowers of the people, And you can play that kind of narrative where you have different factions or fighting factions very well, right? Romance of the Three Kingdoms style, right? Where that guy has his motivation because this thing guy's a hero, this guy's a villain, this guy hates this guy because his nephew got killed by that person, right? If you play it that way, cool. But here's like, we have these vague philosophical concepts about humanity needing conflict, and that's what we're fighting, but we have no end to it. I guess if we win, we'll have peace, but we're not even stating that as a goal other than,
Well, I mean, I'm thinking to the element that I say it could be 12 episodes. I was very disappointed when Witch from Mercury turned out to be only 24 episodes. Because, that's half of what you normally expect if you're coming in from, like, Gundam Seed and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they really could have done more there, even though some people say that the ending was rushed. I disagree. But the element here that I feel like if you wanted to try and establish what was going on in the world, you could have done a 12-episode run on this, and then if you felt like, oh, we could really do more, do another 12 episodes. But I think back in the day when this came out, that would have felt like really abrupt.
Yeah, I mean, you're going for the long run, which is what most anime of this era was going for, 30 plus, 40, 50 episodes, right? That was,
Well, it's what I'm constantly thinking about when I think I want to go back to, like, the origins of anime and watch, like, the 1960s, 1970, early 1970s stuff. And then I look at the episode counts and go, oh, do I want to be in for a 200-run anime?
Yeah.
That I know is going to be of lesser quality than modern anime?
In Japan, and that might be a part of it as well, seasons are literally seasons. Like you have, winter, spring shows and winter, spring, and so if you were having a long run, you would run for the entire year. Where in the United States, we say seasons, but really it's just one season. It's fall, and then the spring. There's no real spring season. It just falls to spring, right? With a break in Christmas and a break in summer. So it's 22 episodes, 22, 24 episodes back to back. And so say summer doesn't get the 2 or 3 months of summer they get reruns. Holidays also get reruns. So the idea is, if I start in January, I can run an entire show the entire year, 50 plus episodes, so 52 weeks, or most of the year, and you're done, right? And the show is completely done, right? If you have the budget to make it all at once, right? But now with streaming, budgets are become more expensive, so you do it in smaller chunks of 12 each, or in some episodes you do 12, 24. You do 2
they still do it the seasonal way. I legitimately have a window open to the maybe it's the anime chart, because I'm thinking about doing a seasonal anime review tomorrow to see what I'm going to fill in the January 24th slot with. Because apparently people want me to do a seasonal anime review instead of the Fail Fisher rundown, which is where I go into the Discord and just pick out one of the recommendations or 10 of the recommendations and have people vote on that. because that delays doing older anime versus newer anime. I guess people want to see newer anime.
Check. I haven't know what's coming on this. And this season has been disappointing for me. Just watching like 2 shows out of the.
Well, I'm
other
talking
stuff
about
that I was
winter
gonna watch.
2026, which is January. The stuff coming out in January.
Yeah,
And I already know that I'm going to be watching Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 because I've watched all the Jujutsu Kaisen so far, so why wouldn't I? And Frieren. Still waiting to hear back from Justin if we're going to be doing that together or if I'm going to continue solo, but either way, I'm going to continue Frieren. And then, it's going to be whatever, I guess, pops up on the seasonal anime review. I know I'm going to pick up Mushoku Tensei Season 3 as well, but that, I think, is coming out in, like, April, so...
But I'm starting older anime. I already started Metal Armor Dragon R, so you can watch it on Twitch. It should be on both on Patreon and later on YouTube. Patreon this week, YouTube next week, and from this recording. So whenever you see this, right?
This is going to be like a month or two. Like, it'll be already out if you're keeping that date.
Yeah, and then I'm also starting Armor Trooper Botoms.
Botoms.
I said Botoms.
No, I was trying to remember. Sure I was trying to remember before you said it. So I remember it was like V-Toms or something like that.
Yeah. And so that's going to be another
show. And then after that,
and those are.
And then after that,
Pat Labor. No, I already watched. I'm trying to watch.
Some people say Pat Labor. For some reason, I've always said Pat Labor.
I say Pat Labor myself.
That's an old argument here on the channel how to pronounce things. Like some people, do you put the X in the middle of the name when they have X's there? Like Hunter X Hunter, or is it Hunter Hunter? I've always said Spy X Family, but some people just say Spy Family.
And stuff like that. But so I have those 2 shows, and Botoms is pretty long. I think it's nearly, I think it's over 40 episodes. I have to check. I mean,
pretty long, over 40 episodes.
I mean, compared to today, I'm talking about that. We're watching older anime like Legends of Galactic Heroes, which is 110 episodes, not counting the 52 episodes from Gaiden. So it's 162 episodes total, I think, that we'll be watching, plus movies.
I mean, I'm on the Yamato train, which is going to be forever.
Yamato 2. Yeah, you're going to do Yamato 2, plus the remakes.
Yeah, plus all the other movies. Since apparently I'm already watching I've already watched a movie that's not canon. So they told me that it has scenes and stuff from the new season, or that gets used in the new season, rather, not from the new season, that are not the same. And of course it can't be the same, because the movie was like, 2.5 hours? So that's about, 5 episodes? Versus a whole season, which is way more episodes than that, so... And obviously, I don't think they can end it the same way. I'm not saying any spoilers, I'm just saying I don't think they can end it the same way.
I'm doing 2 shows, and I'm thinking of adding, again, if the Patreon does pick up, which is lesson learned at Patreon, doing either OVAs or movies. Like, you want me to watch a movie? Sure, no problem. You can commission a movie. You can commission OVA. Just because I'm also doing this here, so I don't, I need to.
Just don't bite off more than you can chew, which is constantly where I'm at. The realization that, I would want to do something. I want to do something more. But you can't handle what you're already doing. Like, I was thinking if I had an editor or somebody I could just pass the stuff on to, I would be recording shit nonstop. But I have to stop to edit constantly.
Yeah. A Star Brighter Than the Sun is the one that I'm watching. Which I think it's going to be a 1-season anime, because its 12th episode is going to be this week. Just, fine. It's a fun rom-com thing,
Really? I thought that was a slice of life.
Well, slice of life rom-com. Mostly.
I legit know nothing about it. I think I saw the poster for it or something. That was it.
So,
plus, it fits into that naming structure of a bunch of different animes, like Place Further Than the Universe, or...
Yeah.
God, I can't remember the name of... There's the one that I watched with Griffin that I thought was it was amazing. Sorry, no, that's actually Pale Cocoon that I thought was amazing. This one was good. About the girl who gets sent off to fight an alien force. Something about cell phone. Cell phone is in the name, I think, maybe. She has to fight an alien force, but every time she jumps, like the ship makes a jump to go out towards them, the time delay between messages that she sends by her cell phone increases, like goes from a week to a month to the next message will come a year from now to 5 years. She's trying to maintain a relationship with the guy she fell in love with before she got recruited to fight this thing, because the backstory, it's like an OVA, it's like a 1 episode thing. The backstory is these aliens came and attacked Earth. It's kind of like an Ender's Game situation. The backstory is the alien attack already happened. Now we're going to take the fight to them, and she's heading out to do it. So it's not about their fighting, even though there is like 2 scenes of big old fight scene, but it's more about the conversation heading back and forth, and we keep going back to him, who's like holding himself off from getting into relationships with other people because he believes there might be something here, and then the increasing distance of time between when he actually gets to say anything to her and when she gets to say something back to him. It's like, am I wasting my life? What's going on here? I would say the concept, though, of that was better than the execution.
Feels very much like Gunbuster, kind of.
Gunbuster does have that time dilation element, but it's not about the communication. But like, if she had jumped and then kept having conversations with what was the Soviet Union super genius? The red hair. So. Okay, I guess you don't know as much Gunbuster as I thought you did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There were 2
she
girls.
Say what?
The older girl, the older girl that grew up to be her teacher, and then her when she was in school, and they team up together and they fight.
No, nobody grows up to be their teacher. She had a friend at school who gets old and has a kid. She didn't turn out to be the teacher. Like, legitimately, I know the very end, there's a bunch of OVA or extras with her kid in school. Anyway, no, that's not who I was talking about. If you're thinking about who I think you're thinking about, that's not who I'm thinking about. I'm talking about one of the three main girls. This is the one on the side who doesn't get as much screen time as the rest of them.
Yeah, because there were more than that.
And also the one that stays behind and doesn't sacrifice themselves like they do, because she actually gets an OVA at the end, which kind of makes the distance between Gunbuster and Gunbuster 2 or Diebuster, as I always. The problem is that, like, on a bunch of the labeling, I always see it as Gunbuster 2, but I know it as Diebuster. So
yeah,
where they're talking about her mobile suit, mecha, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And its new develops and everything, and I guess that's supposed to get you some of the way towards understanding what Diebuster is when you're starting Diebuster, but didn't really do it for me. I think when me and Justin were watching Diebuster, I spent the first 4 episodes. Is this related to Gunbuster? Like, I knew it was, but there was nothing in the show that I was like, it can't be this. We handled this. Or what is going on here? It can't be that place. We destroyed that place.
Yeah.
And then you get to like episode 5 out of 6, and like, that's that other place that was in Gunbuster. How is that here? I thought we blew that up into a black hole.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the plan is to make a couple of shows during the week, and then either OVAs or movies if they get commissioned by Patreon, which I'm hoping they will.
God, I have been holding off on trying to get what's the Madoka Magic movie called? Not the first or the second one. Rebellion. I've been meaning to watch Rebellion forever now, but every time I go to do it, something has always happened where it's like, I can't do it today. So I have this movie in my back pocket that I need to watch at some point, that at the closer we get to the YouTube finishing a Magic record, the more pressing it is that I need to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, the content. You got to feed the content machine.
Well, I got to make sure it gets out there before the scheduled last episode goes up. Plus, I also I guess I have to do a ranking at some point for that. Plus, Walpurgis Rising, which is a future movie for Madoka Magica, comes out sometime this year. So I got to get Rebellion done before Walpurgis Rising. Walpurgis Rising or Walpurgis Noct Rising, I can't remember. I think it's Walpurgis Rising. Well, Walpurgis Noct is the actual word, but I think it's Walpurgis is that they're referring to it in the movie title.
So, after all that, I think we have a board and some notes.
Well, let's hit the board then, where I clearly have a board change log, where I removed the question mark from Lady Un. I connected Dorothy to Zex with a green line, and then I connected Dorothy to Trays with a white line.
Should there be a line between Dorothy and Katra?
No. Why would there?
As enemies? They identified each other in the battlefield, so.
I don't know if they really did. Remember the argument you were having about, or not argument, I don't know if we disagreed or not, but the element of how they would, oh no, I was just like devil's advocating how they would know each other was there. I think it's just the system.
Yeah, I know it's a system. That's what I said when it's like, no, it could be something else. You were like, they could have known each other. They could have realized.
Well, no, you were the one like, how would they fucking know? So I don't know why you would say you're the one who came up with the system. I was just coming up devil advocate way, so if they know each other. Because you were like, how would they possibly even know each other? They've never come in contact with one another. How would they even know that these things are being controlled by the other person? You were the one saying there was no possible way they should know each other. I was devil advocating any possible way that they could.
I mean, we know that the Zero system is essentially space magic by this point. It's the equivalent of new type magic kind of thing. Well, not equivalent, but at sometimes close.
Well, apparently it's supposed to like read your mind. Like it reads the battlefield and comes up with all this stuff, but it also must be reading your mind because I don't know why else it would pull out like with Troa. No, sorry, not Troa. Wu-Fei, Trays, and Zex. Like they're not on the battlefield, so there would be no reason for him to see them. So clearly it's pulling out from your mind things that you know that you're not even conscious that you're thinking about.
Yep.
So it just means that Quattro is familiar with the idea of Dorothy to then have the system pull out Dorothy from his mind.
Yeah. Oh, all rich people know each other, so I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah, it's not really the point here, though, because Quattro's whole family is rich and he doesn't even know his own sisters.
Yeah, that's true. He knows he has them.
Well, he found out that he has them.
Yeah. I have sisters? Yeah, you have a bunch of sisters. You could have clued me in. How many wives do you have, Dad?
Well, remember, he's the youngest of the bunch.
Yeah, they're all cloned, too.
Well, he's the youngest of the bunch, so he has a bunch of older sisters that he just never was told about. Yeah. Because clearly he was grown up. He grew up in isolation to the rest of his family, as per the pictures on his father's desk.
An interesting setup if they would have done something with that, but alas, it's just a thing. So it's a sidebar note. I can see the kanji just being written like, Katra, on the sidebar of the script, and that's it.
Quattro will remember this.
Yeah. So we have 3 episodes to talk about, 42, 43, and 44. So let's start with 42, Battleship Libra. Talking about the board. So Lady Yun survived. How? Who knows? And I doubt the show will tell us or care about that.
I mean, it did tell us.
I mean, yeah, they put her in the thing, but that's it. It's like she was on the floor for, did somebody pick her up from the floor? Did somebody find her there?
Clearly somebody did.
Yeah.
I know you're being hyperbolic here. Just the element that clearly somebody did, and they put her in that thing, which you just said.
Yeah.
And then they watched over her.
Or
she's in a coma.
Days, weeks, and months at a time, it's a coma. Didn't transfer her to a
Well, it couldn't be months. We already had that whole comment about how long this has actually lasted.
Which is not much. Pretty short, really.
Miliardo is now the leader of space, according to the narrator, so it really doesn't matter what the colonists think if the narrator is truly the voice of God. Those with the will to do something have joined the White the White Fang, and are doing something. Those that will sit back on the sidelines have history. God damn it, what is past me doing? Those that will sit back on the sidelines of history are doing nothing, and are inconsequential to this leg of the story.
Yeah, it's big man history, basically. Taken to, I think, an absurd degree.
Well, I think we had a conversation before about the colonists and what they actually mean, and them being a faction, etc., etc., and it's the element that the colonists that will fight are in the White Fang. The colonists that will do nothing no longer matter.
So let me get this straight, Trace. You're going to help the people by fighting a war you helped create in the first place?
Yeah, I have a number of notes that all come back to that, so I'll hit those as they come.
If you have an answer to it, I'm more than willing to listen to it.
No, it's the hypocrisy. I have notes about the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
I'm on the same boat as you. I just come back to it a number more times. So Nicole survived. We hadn't seen him since he got locked away. I wonder if he served his time and was given his post back, or if he managed to escape from lockup and then survived the destruction of Barge. Additionally, he says that they, him and the 17 other survivors, survived in dishonor to bring Lady Un back to Earth, meaning that they ran away instead of fighting, which is a nice little inclusion said in a very few lines.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. They were probably trapped and I was like, fuck it, this place is going to blow up. Let's go.
Well, no, that they prioritized Lady Un's survival to the
Yeah.
defense of Barge. So again, they survived in dishonor. Him saying they survived in dishonor is so anti-Gundam Wing that I love it. Because Gundam Wing's thing should be he elaborates and get a whole flashback of him escaping Barge, blah, 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 to make sure the dumbest people don't miss out what he's talking about. But he just says, we survived in dishonor, and you have to figure out what that means, and I like that.
I guess the Nuremberg trials were another thing in the Wing universe. Like, because that's the whole speech a soldier says. We don't, soldiers shouldn't worry about what the morality is, blah, blah, blah. It's, we do what we're told. I'm like, okay.
I mean, you're saying that as though people today don't do that.
True, but,
legitimately, that's a lot of arguing out in the streets right now about, or, in the media, don't follow illegal orders. How dare you say that? Well, I mean, don't though.
Yeah, they're illegal for a reason,
Well, I remember I was watching a what was it, Legal or something like that, bringing on that former JAG officer that he sometimes has on the channel about the problem with disobeying a direct order, even if it is illegal, the complications that you're going to have in the long run for your entire career. So Trey's kicked Relina out because he's too compassionate, and the fight to come would be too much for her. Well, half of that holds up. Any fight would be too much for Relina and her total pacifism. I think I'd appreciate Trey's move more if he weren't trying to chess master it. He's going in to try and destroy humanity's will to fight with a one last battle situation between essentially all of the two factions that we're left with. And then Relina, not in the battle, can take over what's left of humanity and lead them to pacifism. Until one guy with a gun and a dream shows up, I guess.
Yeah. Or, what's left of humanity rebuilds, I guess, makes more mobile suits and starts over again. Whatever new weapon, it's going to be.
I have a future note about how Relina is just as bad as Zex is, so.
Or grabs, remakes or grabs control of the Libra. Oh, hey, you left this? This is still working? Oh, well, it's a shame. Nobody's using it. When that happens, we're like, oh, fuck, here we go again. What truth did you see in a delusional teenager who doesn't know what the heck is going on? Where is it? Also, you have a radio. You can tell whoever is within range. This is the guy who decides, oh, the Gundam pilots have shown me the truth. And the truth is, I'm going to ram this ship and kill myself. I'm like...
My problem with that situation, this is a meta problem. It's not directly related to what you're saying the problem here is. I tend to go to the Gundam Wiki to see some shows, to see which characters appeared in the episode and who first appearance and who died, so that I can keep track of that shit for the board. Gundam Wing isn't good for that. The board, the wiki doesn't really have any information except for like a one paragraph synopsis. And in it, I think it said Nicole dies at the end of the episode. It's like, is that Nicole? If that is Nicole, how did he get from landing on Earth to up in space fighting here? Because that's like
teleportation.
I think that. I also think the wiki is often wrong, so I just don't know. I don't have Nicole's voice like hardwired into my brain the way that Char has Amro's voice in his brain. So,
which brings back to another recording, which we're mentioning. A whole thing that probably is going to get edited anyway. That I was talking to. The teleportation was brought up. So.
I don't remember. I don't remember, but I also clearly haven't done that recently, so hasn't come up yet.
You will when you edit it, you'll remember.
Although you did bring up teleportation. I just want to point that out.
That's the whole thing that you were going to do. That's exactly what you said you were going to do.
What?
That if I bring up teleportation, you were going to remind me that I brought a teleportation.
Well, it just did remind you without even knowing. So that's how ingrained it is that you bring up teleportation all the time, and I'm reminding you just did it.
Yeah.
Hell, I've gotten so in your head about this, apparently, that you had to remind me about reminding you so that you reminded me about you doing
I'm
it.
being, I'm reminded that I did it. Yeah. That was
your note. Mine's
my
next.
note. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Praise is a masterful bullshitter to the dumbass people of this world. Were the people of the one world nation able to live in peace? No, he says. Of course not. The Trays faction fought them all across the earth. The reason no one could live in peace was due to the people fighting under your name. He created a threat that made him look better to all the dumbasses in the room that couldn't figure out that he was the source of the problem he was claiming to be the answer to.
Yeah, which is what I said in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know. It's also the thing that I alluded
I
to,
was
saying
the
I had
leader of
multiple
all.
notes.
I was the military leader of Oz, which orchestrated the murder of the original leader of the Earth Earth Alliance, which then I proceeded to then try to take over the Earth Alliance, defeated them, but then rebelled against Rockefeller because they were introducing
Rockefeller.
Rummefeller.
It's a mix between Rockefeller and Romefeller.
Yeah, well,
it's probably where they came up with the name. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And
the
then,
element that you don't have to give his whole backstory here. We've been here the whole journey. It's just the element that he does bring up the is it the United Earth Sphere Alliance? He brings up the old alliance. They're like, did they manage to create peace? No, but his example isn't his fight against them, because obviously that was subterfuge back then, where he tricked the Gundams to do the thing for him. So he obviously wouldn't bring that up. But he does bring up the element that they went to space, and the whole mirror gun people against the wall thing that we heard back then. So his point there does stand. He wasn't the bad guy to those people. Well, he was, because he controlled Oz, but
Yeah. And he was a target of Operation Meteor, so back then. Now, no, you will not be taking over the shuttle, Wufei. Hero is there and you can't take him. Because it's like, Wufei's like, well, I could take over the shuttle. And Hero's like, I'm not going to even say you could try.
Okay, this is a Superman situation.
Yeah.
Superman can do anything that he hasn't tried to do before. Hero wins most of his fights off screen.
True.
So the fact that Wufei is challenging him on screen might mean that the Hero would lose. Unless we start the fight, we pan back to Relena talking about something, and then we came back, and then Hero has won. But if it happens on screen, I have to think that Wufei would win.
Mm-hmm.
It's the meta of how this works.
Yeah, but still, it's like, really? You really haven't won any of your hand-to-hand combat fights unless it's a random guard.
Well, it's not like Hero's never lost before. He's been captured.
Yeah.
It might be a situation where he thinks that having Wufei take over is more important than him fighting Wufei. It's like, all right, fine, take the shuttle, whatever. What happens to the Oz soldier that flew Relena to Libra? I can't imagine he gets a very warm welcome.
That's or the crew of the shuttle, because somebody's flying.
Well, he's the only one that we see, actually, the entire time that Relena's on the shuttle. Just that one guy. You doing okay? Okay. Come back later. But he's wearing an Oz uniform. He's flying towards the White Fang base. It can't be good for him.
No. Well, I guess being in a prison cell in a space battleship is not that bad. Weird that the Wind Zero system went from "it will amplify your worst instincts" to "it's an oracle of humanity's future." I guess we are all slaves to the machine god now.
I have a future note about that in regards to Wufei.
Well, all of them, really. It applies to each one.
No. Very specifically to Wufei as regards to the last 3 episodes that we watched.
Yeah.
My next note is about Wufei, but it's not in regards to that thing we just said.
Yeah.
Wufei, back with the might makes right argument. Justification means being able to defeat him. With that logic, you could justify anything. Then again, I guess it follows along my realist argument that you don't have to justify anything once the other side is dead. History won't care about your point if you are wiped from history.
Yeah, but every massacre has a survivor, so that's not exactly true.
Not every massacre. Tell me about the survivors of Roanoke.
Well, technically, it wasn't a massacre. We don't know what really happened, but
that's the thing, right? If a massacre happens and everybody's gone, then you don't know what
Yeah,
really
no, the
happened.
implication. The
The
implication
implication is that they
massive.
moved to another island over with Indians, like that. But there's no telling. Could have been a fucking massacre. Who the hell knows? My point is that you're saying we don't know, and I'm saying, yeah, exactly. That's my point. If you kill everybody, who the hell knows what happened? How many unmarked graves in the woods of Asia do we not know about?
My next note then. Sex. I, an Earthling, will prove to you how peaceful the people from the colonies are by waging a war of annihilation on Earth and committing the largest act of genocide in human history. That will show them.
I mean, it makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah, I have a future note about that. Not to get deep into it, but the element is that Sex isn't from space. Yeah, he's an Earthling fighting a war against other Earthlings to keep the peace of space. Like I said, I'm not getting deep into it, so don't investigate this until I get to my future note. My problem is that you have bits of my notes, and if I went back into it, we'd be going different directions on this.
Okay.
Just keep in mind to tear me apart later. Wait, is the moon base gone or is it not? The guy's just going on about how the moon base has been lost. Call for the lunar base for reinforcements.
More than one base, but
they're talking about how the loss of the moon base is going to affect the White Fang people, and then they call for the lunar base for reinforcements.
Yeah, apparently somebody didn't know that those were synonyms. They're cinnamon buns.
Different flavors of cinnamon.
Both of them. Yeah, very sweet and chewy, both of them. And my last note for this episode. And Dorothy just wants to see the carnage and be on the side that doesn't get blown up.
That's why I don't have many notes about Dorothy's actions across the 3 episodes, because that's just who she is. So to be clear, Treize takes over and instantly defeats all the forces across the globe that stood up against Romefeller. Everyone but him is so incompetent that he was able to do what he could not in the span of a scene transition. Sorry, what they could not in the span of a scene transition. I guess it didn't hurt, once again, that the majority of people fighting against Romefeller were his own people. So, more than likely, he took over, and all of his guys surrendered, and there was no one left.
Yeah, they rejoined his forces, basically. Oh, you're in charge now? Okay, fine. We surrender.
Well, I mean, except for the people in space, obviously, because we got those shots of, oh, we'll do this, and he'll bring us back on board. What do you mean we're retired?
Yeah, but still, it's sort of that's what I feel like they're not really rushing, but it kind of feels like they're rushing. Like, yeah, we could have 2 or 3 episodes of now Treize fighting his people that were with him before, and the survivors of the Earth 3 Alliance, and third parties who got their hands on mobile suits, and we could do all that, or scene transition. I won.
I mean, not for nothing, they do show a downed helicopter or something, and we know that there are some guerrillas across the world, so he just took a global conflict and turned it into a couple of small-scale conflicts.
Now in my notes, episode 43, Target Earth. Wu Fei, yeah, your magic doohickey showed me a thing now. Show me a thing, so now I'm going to join you. We are 5 episodes from the end, and I don't want to be written out of the show.
I guess I'll match that up with a different comment of mine. It's funny, the Zero system has consistently shown everyone that pilots it for the first time some sort of wrong vision that fucks up their worldview, and they have to recover from it. Wu Fei's worldview was already so fucked up that the first vision he gets from the Zero system was just the right one.
Basically, the system went, listen, you already dug yourself so deep, so why don't you hand me the shovel and climb up this ladder? I
wrote that hyperbolic. Benefit of the doubt, he got a really bad vision, and it seems like for the rest of the fight, he's piloting with his eyes closed. So maybe it's I don't want to see any more vision. I get it. I don't need any more of this.
But it worked. Whatever happened.
I mean, because we know he's the one with the dead wife and all that other shit. So for all we know, he's got getting visions of his dead wife and shit. And it's Event Horizon with the wife showing up with her eyes ripped out and everything. Don't need any more of that. Thank you. I think I can do this fight just fine.
Yeah, I'm so good. I don't need to see this shit.
Apparently.
Yeah. Okay, that was your note. I said my note, so I'll go to my next note then, as we often do. Really now, I'm the only one that can stop my brother. Are you? Are you really?
Well,
You
clearly
barely
not the
know
only
each
one,
other. Yeah,
or
you
the
barely
one.
know each other. Yeah. In fact, you don't even know each other since you were like, he was like 5 and he was like 10 or something and you were like 5. So you probably you had to be told that that was your brother. Hey, that guy over there, that's your brother. I'm like, oh, I didn't figure that out.
Yeah, no, I've got references to that in future notes as well.
Yeah.
So White Fang shows up to attack the transport that Poe, Hero, and Wu Fei are on. Poe says that they already have them surrounded. The screen in front of her shows them still deploying, nowhere near surrounding them. A full minute later, an external shot shows them all still forming a wall in front of them, coming from nowhere else as Wu Fei flies out towards them. Sally Poe cannot read out.
Really nothing to say about that. So much so that I didn't put it in my notes.
I remember I mentioned it during the reaction, and here I am bringing it up again.
Duo is the only one sane of the bunch. I love how he calls out Hero for piloting the epyon. Like, you did what? And why would you do that? And then he goes, I forgot who you are. You know, I've been written in the wrong anime for all this long. I gotta get out of here. You know.
Yeah, I have a future note that you're gonna have to disagree with that relates to literally that, or not that scene, but the meta context of Duo commenting about the Zero system. But that's like 4 notes from now, so I'm just gonna wait till I get there.
Yeah.
All right, so Zex's point is that human nature is inherently to fight itself. Fair enough, not untrue. But where he veers away from most other Gundam antagonists is that he suggests that the colony citizens have risen above such things and can suppress that nature. Would be great if true. I mean, the fact that they would use a leader from Earth to fight that battle and eliminate other Earthlings would make that a great tragic irony. In fact, if all of White Fang were actually from Earth, fighting on behalf of the peaceful colonies the same way that the Sank Kingdom had its defense force at the end, would be a good mirror to both sides of the Peacecraft line. I think that would have been a better written ending, in fact. Both warring sides, both coming from the same place and eventually wiping themselves out, leaving only the peace-minded pacifists behind. Unfortunately, White Fang is made up of people from space. Worse, the people from Quattra's home colony that marched on and killed his dad, also space colonists. The people of the colonies may be largely peaceful, but they fight too. Unfortunately, this last leg feels like it was made up as we went with no regard to past storylines that contradict it.
I mean, technically, all the scientists were in space. All the pilots of the Gundams are from space. The Gundams were made in space. Project Meteor was a project to destroy Earth Alliance and Oz to save the space colonies from occupation, right? So that's bullshit.
I thought you were going to argue about me saying that this would be better if everybody in White Fang was from Earth.
I think it's immaterial because
I think it would make
it's
a
about
better ending.
Nah, I mean, I think it's about the nature of humanity, and the colonists are there's
No.
no
See, I'm
proof
coming at it from the
whatsoever.
point that Relina has the Sank Kingdom, right? And then a bunch of people come into the Sank Kingdom with guns and everything, and then they try to defend the Sank Kingdom from the outside attackers from the purview that these are the pacifists, and we have to protect the pacifists because they have a better line of thinking than we do. And then Zex, another Peacecraft, goes into space, and then instead of the colonists being White Fang, he has a bunch of Earth people who does the same thing for the space colonists. Again, assuming that the colonies actually were peaceful this entire time, disregarding all that aspect. And it becomes a mirror to what happened at the Sank Kingdom, that he's doing things exactly like Relina did, except he's doing it in his own way, which is a much more extreme version. And thus, also, he's becoming the militant side of the pacifism arm, which is a weird thing to say, but you understand what I'm getting at when I say that.
Yeah.
Versus her being the pacifist side that has a militant arm acting for her. They are different sides of the mirror reflection, and I thought that would have been a better thematic ending than this weird thing
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
yeah, but this show again, this show doesn't have the ability to pull that off. It might be there; those elements might be there, but
Well, because at that point it would become which side of the pacifist line do you want in control of anything? Do you want the pacifist mentality itself, which is too weak to even defend itself, or do you want to be the people that are defending the pacifists to try and make that future, but you yourself aren't pacifist, so you are in fact the problem? And then, both sides being unrepresentative of the people that they're trying to force this upon as well.
I think that should have been the real theme of the show, that you have these people pretending to know better than everyone else, and it's like, you're not representing anything that we want at all.
Well, it's the element that what gets it's the teddy bear. It's the Gundam teddy bear. The Gundam teddy bear represents the people that are lost, that had nothing to do with the fight to begin with, the innocent people.
Yeah.
And that would be the colonists here, that in my review of it being a bunch of Earth people trying to put all of this on the colonists, that the colonists would be the teddy bear in the example.
Yeah. I think Seed and Seed Destiny did it better in that they show people, not everybody agreeing, but people protesting, questioning. The politicians have to, at times, not all the time, but at times, try to go for popular support, right? It's like, yeah, if we don't have popular support, we can't pull this off, right? And, that kind of, yeah, it's still big man history because you have the heroes and the villains, but it's like, yeah, we need soldiers for armies, we need supplies, we need popular support, we need the politics. We're going to put a singer to convince people that we're the good guys. That it's a little, it's at least a nod to it. The villains were like, we don't care what the lesser people think. We know what, and that kind of makes them like the kind of brutish villains that they are. Yeah, we'll kill whoever we have to kill. We'll kill our own people if we have to. We don't care. We are the true masters of the world. We know what's better, which is, I think, I'm giving points to Destiny over this one. Yeah, it makes Destiny just a shade better in that regard. It has its own problems, but yeah. Talking of which problems, Oz, we have taken over this gigantic structure and put all of 500 colonists in a single square.
Oh, sorry. Wrong. I think I'm thinking of the last episode that we reacted to. You're talking about the colony. I was watching the Zex put everybody into the thing. I have a speech to give. And I was like, oh, okay, there's a mass of people there. I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess when I said there might be a billion colonists, then I don't know.
Yeah, because like, oh, yeah, we have an entire... Well, it kind of makes me feel that the people who died in Wu Fei's colony were like literally just the 5 people, 6 people that were in the clan. Of course, they blew themselves up. They all knew each other. They all agreed. All those buildings, people were gonna visit someday. But it's a tourist attraction. Nobody lives there.
I mean, maybe White Fang really is all of the colonists.
I mean, we do see shots of people looking up in the colonies.
Yeah, no, just the element that when we see all the White Fang gathered in Libra, there's like 100,000 people there versus all the people we see in the actual colonies. So maybe literally White Fang is all of the colonists, except for a very small amount of people. Maybe when we're talking about the colonies not being represented by White Fang, it's like maybe the colonies is the majority of White Fang.
Tired of being pushed around.
Another case of incompetent gunners. Zex orders his crew to fire on Dorothy and her slow-moving golden shuttle. 40 seconds later, the crew declares a lock-on to the target. 20 seconds later, Zex gives the order to escort her in. A minute and 7 seconds pass between him giving the order to fire and him changing his order, without a single shot taken. These guys act surprised about it too, not like they were intentionally holding back, but like they were still getting ready to fire when he changed his mind. They should clearly be removed from duty.
Or there's the firing sequence should have been better laid out, other than just random talk like that. Because if they later on kind of do a sort of Death Star sequence where they have a machine going around, it's like, oh, okay, so you have to power this.
That's
up.
The main gun. This is literally just 2 of the things that you see on the outside of the colonies. The colonies are defended by.
Yeah,
this is like a normal ass gun. This wasn't let's get ready to fire the main cannon of Libra. This was ordinary shit. We normally see a mobile suit fly into frame and then they all start firing. That takes half a second for those guys. Why'd this guy take a minute and 7?
Maybe the color was blinded by the golden color. Talking to Dorothy, Dorothy just now is just a complete psychopath.
I don't think she's a complete psychopath. She's exactly as much as she was before.
It's like, oh, why don't you shoot your brother? Here, have a gun. It was like, what?
I think we all
Oh,
know
well,
that
you
she
won't shoot
wouldn't
your
do
brother?
that, so I think it would just test. Probably
And
that
then
gun had no
lock your
bullets
ass.
in it.
It's
And we'd watch
Dorothy.
this episode, and Dorothy has to shoot somebody and pulls out the gun and shoots. Like, oh, I guess it was full of bullets.
I mean, he could have reloaded, I guess, but
She?
Dorothy.
Yes, you said he again.
No, I said she.
What'd I tell you about your mic?
Yeah, probably that's what happens.
I mean, I think you need to go back and rewatch some of the reactions on the channel just to see yourself actually saying he, because it must be cutting off the part. The comedy routine of Catherine and the boss. Catherine, you can't scare us away with your bluffs. Oz guy moves toward her threateningly. Boss gets in the way and gets hit with the butt of a rifle. Catherine, boss, what'd you do that for? Boss, stop it, Catherine. She's antagonizing these Oz guys. Boss takes a beating for her, and she keeps antagonizing them until he begs her to stop, so he won't get beaten again. She's clueless and won't let her. She's clueless and he won't let her get hurt. It's just funny watching it because it's like, you won't do a damn thing. Guy gets hit in the face. Why'd you do that for? You sons of bitches. Catherine, stop, please. I can't take another
hit. I'm not a boxer. God damn it. This is not MMA. Shut up. Yeah, it's, and I think there was supposed to be that people were going to join in, but nobody joined in to fight. They were like, he's like, okay, never mind. That didn't work. Shut up. You're going to get me killed, for nothing. Not for these idiots anyway. Well, it would have been interesting if they had mobile suits, but still it's like, oh, you're coming to a circus full of dangerous wild animals. How about I open this cage and you try to wrestle the lion?
I think the element there is that those would have attacked everybody.
Yeah. Although if you're talking with Dorothy, Josie just grabs two lions and goes like, "Yeah, this is easy." In the finale, when she actually literally grabs two lions.
No, yeah, I mean, you said Dorothy for one thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
But clearly, you mean Relina. There's also you're just listing two people that also aren't there, so it's just like very confusing. Not confusing, just intentionally. It's like, what do you?
If Relina had been there, it's like, oh, lion, yeah, come here. Although at the end, they're supposed to be comical, so it's not that much of a deal. So, talking of people that are not there but will be soon enough, Tro is off to save his girl love into. I mean, whatever Dorothy is to him right now.
You keep saying Dorothy.
I don't know why I said Dorothy. That's not her name. Jesus Christ.
It's Catherine. Her name's Catherine.
Kathy. I'm going to call her Kathy for short. Kathy.
I mean, he's got his memory back by this point, so he's no longer her brother.
But, we don't know that because he's still sullen.
We know that because Quatra says, you got your memory back. And he's like, yes, I do. So we do know that.
Oh, well, I missed that line.
Very specifically, the Zero System kicks on, and he's like, oh, fuck, no, because he sees an image of Catherine getting killed, I think by his own shot or something. And Quatra goes, Troy, you got your memories back. He's like, yeah. So it's literally a voice line between the two of them.
Yeah, well, I missed that one. Which answers the question, so yeah.
So at this point, Duo is the only one that hasn't spent time with the Zero System. And I mean, why would he? He's the only one that's been completely rational the entire run of the show. He doesn't need a nightmare scenario to change the course he's on, unlike everyone else. The confusing point, and something we debated during the reaction, was when Hiro gave Howard Zero System discs to install in the Gundams. He says Quatra can handle it, and we looked up at the Sandrock. That was you saying they only installed it in Quatra's. My point of view is that 4 out of the 5 Gundam pilots have now used the Zero System, as if Hiro was getting them used to it first, and then handing over 3 discs would just be enough to put one in each suit of a pilot that he's used the system before. That lines up too perfectly for me to think it's just going to Quatra.
I'm still thinking that it's still going to Quatra Carter, because he's the one who tells him, "Hey, listen, I put the serial system in. You're going to use it to command and control." Which I have a new note about that. Well, let me just jump in my note because it's pretty. So I no, I'll leave it for my last note because literally it's my last note of the entire run. So, talking about Antroa, the person I want to protect lives there. Flashback to Dorothy bitch slapping him. I guess everybody has a kink.
Do you actually mean Dorothy this time?
No, I meant
You
Catherine.
did it again?
Oh, why?
Is it in
I
your
did it
notes?
again.
Did you just write Dorothy every time you meant Catherine?
Apparently, yeah.
These people are so unalike. It's weird that you thought Dorothy every time you saw Catherine.
Yeah.
That warmonger Catherine. I wish you had done it in reverse, that you put down Catherine every time you were talking about Dorothy. Nothing like blowing up a random mountain in the middle of nowhere to show everyone you mean business, when you could have struck absolutely anywhere else.
I mean, if you want to show the power of the weapon, you don't need to destroy a city. I mean, entire
You could,
island
though.
gets
If you're
blown
planning
up.
to destroy the entire Earth, why not destroy a city? Because also that would really affect the morale of your enemy, as per real-life history.
I will. My last note of this episode is just about that. Well, fuck those pigeons in particular. I get that this is sex making a demonstration of power at his command.
I kind of assumed they were doves. The
the
visual
same
implication of him destroying a symbol of peace.
And the difference between a pigeon and a dove is
they're different birds, and one represents shitting on you for no reason, and the other one represents peace. Again, as I was saying,
doves are just white pigeons. That's what the dove is. They're not different species, or they're literally the same.
And
Okay.
I don't think anyone's ever said, "Look at that peace symbol, the pigeon." They're always that peace symbol, that dove. It's usually a dove and a what do you call it? The olive branch.
Well, I think the reason why I say that also in Spanish, we use the same word for both. So, paloma, which anyway, did I forget? And you said your last note, or you
No,
still
I
have
haven't
notes
said my
about
last note. I'm still in this whole dove pigeon thing that you brought up. Well, because visually,
Hey.
for me, there's a point to what I was saying.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know why you're doing this now.
No, I'm just waiting for your point. That's all. Yeah,
No,
go
I
ahead.
already said my point. The idea that it's a visual metaphor for him to be destroying animals that represent peace, versus you saying he destroyed some pigeons, so it doesn't mean fuck a goddamn thing.
Well, yeah.
You know, it'd be like
it depends how you measure it.
It'd be like if Trey's had like a pet dog this entire time, and then we saw Zex just kill a random dog versus a dog that very much looks like Trey's dog. One is a visual metaphor, like, I'm done with you, Trace. This is to send a message. Versus the other one is, oh god, he just killed an innocent animal. It's like, one has a meaning, the other does not.
Yes, but there's two ways of seeing the scenario. Yes, it is supposed to be this impressive demonstration of the power of Libra, right? And
which
how
is destructive
it is. Or this is just him just throwing away a good shot and just blowing up an island that has no meaning whatsoever, and supposed to be impressive, but it isn't. So if you think they're doves, oh, this is a very sad, tragic story, shows the depths that sex has fallen. You think they're just pigeons, well, it's like, well, this guy just shooting at random islands and exterminating pigeons with a gazillion credit or whatever currency gun, what they pay for to work this thing in the Gundam Wing universe. So both of them are possible.
Relina's saying that she doesn't know if she is being held in the arms of a kind brother she once knew is bullshit. She never knew this man. The one time she met him, she cheered for Hiro to kill him. After that, she denied him as her brother to a group of strangers. It's an extremely performative thing to say. Oddly, Zex, while trying to destroy all life on Earth, has considered Relina far more often than we've ever seen Relina think about him, making him the better sibling in this family. Mind you, better sibling when it comes to family, not better in terms of what they're doing. Though I consider the long-term consequences of softening up humanity with total pacifism is likely extremely bad in a completely different direction. I've given my example of the LOI plenty of times now.
I mean, talk about visual metaphors. If I remember the pictures in the palace when Sex goes in and he finds like an album of pictures. One of them is
She's an
of
infant.
him.
She don't remember him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
She has
but
no memory of him to the point that she didn't recognize him when they Hero killed him.
yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing that guy from Forged in Fire. It will kill.
Yeah. Although technically she couldn't see him, so she only knew of Hero's.
Yeah, to the point where she doesn't even regard her brother in her thoughts.
Episode 44. Go Force Gundam Team. Hero. Nah, these are scrubs. I ain't fighting them. It's like, oh, you're gonna sit down now? Yeah, I have a plan. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, he's got to fight the epyon.
No, but that happens before. Like when they send the first wave
he's
to
planning
attack.
the entire time that he has to fight Zack at some point.
I know, but the way it comes off is like, yeah, no.
Well, I just mean it's in the same episode.
Yeah.
You're like, it'd be different if we were talking about like episode 42, and he was like said that then, and then episode 44 it comes to fruition. But it's like in the same episode. Can's saying he wouldn't have welcomed Zex as the White Fang leader unless he had been looking out for someone is also meaningless dribble. Despite what I just said about him being the better sibling, he's done nothing actionable about looking after her. Certainly nothing that would have been visible from the outside for someone like Cans to notice. He's clearly just sucking up to the person he put in charge with that line.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we know that he tried to rush back to Earth when the kingdom was being attacked. But that's... And he's kept an eye on his sister all this time, but... even then it's pretty distant. Not enough for him to be able to say that. And this is based on a comment I said, and you said this, and it kind of makes sense, but a flamethrower in vacuum. Okay, well, if it had enough oxygen, sure, but that would make it even more dangerous to the user than the target. And like a rocket engine blast, it would dissipate very quickly, meaning it would have a very short range. So as a ranged weapon, even a close range weapon, flamethrowers in
are
space
always dangerous.
I was stupid. That's right. It really wouldn't work.
No, you're saying that it would be more dangerous to the user than it would be anyone else. Flamethrower is always dangerous to the user.
Yep.
It's never not dangerous to the user. That's why there's so few flamethrower units in like Vietnam or whatever. You don't want to be the guy with the explosive pack on its back. Even in best handle circumstances where no one's shooting at you, the thing can still fuck up. You don't want to be the guy who's randomly chosen. Well, so many tasks you don't want in Vietnam. Get down in that hole and climb through it. I'll pass. You can shoot me in the head right now. Let's just imagine that we've gone through the court martial and I've gone through this whole thing. Just shoot me, because I do not want to go in that hole. Nor do I want to have the backpack of flamethrower material on me when I try to shoot down it. So they went out of their way to show us that with the loss of the moon base, all the mobile dolls that the White Fang has is what was left of what they pulled out of there. So Zex being like the mobile dolls have no limit in this battle of attrition is kind of stupid. Every doll lost is a permanent loss to the overall number of dolls that you have. Fortunately, we are working with Star Trek Voyager logic here, so that is never going to come up as a problem.
Endless shuttles for everybody. You get a shuttle, you get a shuttle.
Endless photon torpedoes.
You get a shuttle. Oh, yes.
It's always a thing of, oh, God, we got so few resources, but it's also like, time for another party in the mess hall.
Yeah, except for a year in hell, and even then that got
Well, that's because the mess hall was being used as triage.
Right, I think. Yeah.
That's like the first episode of that starts. They're all in the mess hall, like in the dark, just huddled up.
And my last note. Hero, the ultimate loner. Okay, Katra, you guys can't hack it like I can, so I'm going to mod your ride so that you can serve as command and control. Oh, and I didn't tell the others about it.
Hey guys, I heard you like psychosis in your psychosis, so I put psychosis in your psychosis. Who said that?
You know what this coffee needs? Cocaine, yeah. Double shot of cocaine. There you go.
That was your last note?
That was my last note.
I got 3 more. So the reasons the Gundams can't take on Libra directly is because they'd have to fight through waves of mobile dolls, enough that it would slow them down at least. From the other side, though, if the Gundams aren't already deployed, there isn't anything protecting the Peace Million. Zex could speed the epyon right up to it and slice it in half like he did the barge. With the Peace Million flying right at him and everyone on board having meaningful conversations, they'd all be distracted enough not to notice that they died when the ship got cut in half.
That's why Hero is supposed to go fight the epyon to lock it down.
He's standing on the bridge with his arms crossed, not even in his spacesuit. He's nowhere near the launch deck. Like I said, the epyon could just fly up to him. The thing that the epyon's known for is speed, so...
The melee mobile suit, so he could get there fast.
And yeah, he used his melee weapon to cut the barge in half, so...
Like my Barbarian in my D&D game, we can go up to 150 feet per round, so yeah.
That's usually monks, though.
I'm actually faster than the monk in that sense.
Tabaxi monk will outspeed your Barbarian any day of the week, unless you're Barbarian multi-class Tabaxi multi-class Barbarian monk. Or the lesser seen Elf Ranger.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 2024 version of the game, so...
Well, I'm talking about the 5e version of the game.
Yeah, this is 5.5.
I'm talking about the one-shot Tabaxi charge-up dash that they get to run twice their movement speed, plus the monk gets so many additional plus movement speeds.
Well, I guess a thief will probably move faster, too.
Yeah, I'm saying Barbarians aren't known for the speed increases, even the totems and whatnot that give you speed increases. You're never going to keep up with a monk. And then, again, the Tabaxi
that's
gets
in 2014. In
2024,
they really changed that a lot.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I don't play TNT anymore anyway. There's nothing between the Gundam team acting as individuals and them suddenly following Quattro's orders. They just go from ignoring him to doing what he says with no event in between. I mean, Quattro activates his Zero System, but that doesn't affect everyone else that wasn't listening to him before. I mean, unless you want to consider what I was thinking before, that they all have the Zero System on board, so when Quattro activates his, all of theirs get activated too.
Yeah, but you would have been given some kind of sense that it was activated, because every time the Zero System gets activated, it's like, oh, Zero System is activated.
I mean, maybe that is the sense, that they all just suddenly fart. Suddenly just fart. Right. They all suddenly just start obeying orders where they were just ignoring him before.
Which has some dark implications if that's the case. Fucking mind control at a distance.
All right, my last note. We know Libra and Peace Million are relatively the same size as that was established back when Tuberov was given orders to construct Libra. So we know we are dealing with objects of relative mass. Libra only has to pivot itself to aim its gun at the Peace Million's direction in order to hit it, while the Peace Million has to move the entirety of itself. It requires less energy on Libra's part to track the Peace Million in that case. Howard says the Peace Million can't move that fast, meaning all Libra has to do is target a point in front of where the Peace Million is trying to evade to and fire. Momentum will carry the Peace Million into the shot, regardless of what they do. Especially when they pull their overloading the engines thing before the Libra even fires. They are calling out engine explosions before they detect the shot. Conceivably, the entire thing could have been a bluff to get Peace Million to blow out its engines and then fire on it when it's dead in the water. Point being, the Libra always had the advantage on and the ability. They just stupidly fired at where the Peace Million was and not where it was going.
I guess.
Again, the Peace Million can't really maneuver. It's blowing out its engines well before this thing ever fires. We see the shot goes below them, meaning they fired at where the Peace Million was and not what its trajectory was taking it. Again, the fact it can't maneuver just means the fact you shoot ahead of it. You say, okay, it's moving this fast, and that means in this amount of time it will be this far ahead of where it is. You shoot for that position. Again, we call it tracking your target, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Leading your target. So you just aim for there, and even if the Peace Million tries to turn, even with its blown up engines tries to turn, it's still going to be into your shot. It can't move away from it. The momentum is carrying it forwards. So don't shoot at where it is, even if its engines are blown up. Its momentum is moving forwards. And given the fact that we just talked about a gunner that took 1minute and 7 seconds before it even tried to fire, should have been what they did, but they didn't.
No, but that the reason why the Peace Million is moving away is because they were going to
They're
shoot
not moving
there,
away.
so
They're just
they were
pivoting in the
tracking.
same direction. They're still moving forward towards it. I don't know what you're
Yeah, but they
arguing for
moved
the
up.
Peace Million. I just covered the element that the Peace Million is trying to evade, blowing out its engines, trying to dodge, but it can't maneuver. That's what we covered. Howard says it himself. This thing cannot move. And my point is that Libra has to use incredibly less amount of energy to do this than the Peace Million does trying to do this. The Peace Million has to move all over the place. The Libra just has to pivot every so often.
But then
I
it would have
appreciate
to-
that I'm giving all these hand motions and you're just like, okay, yeah. That's my table.
You have to, but if it aims this way and they're
Again, if
They're
I'm
aiming at
doing
them,
this with
they
my, if
change.
I have a gun pointed at you, all I have to do is this. You've got to go like, try to get out of the way. You've got to make a lot more movement than I do. And keep in mind, in this example, you're wearing like all the weight gear you could possibly. You're like, God fucking damn! Who put these weights on my legs? Like you can barely move. So all I have to do is this. Granted, I might have a bunch of weights on my hand too, right? But still, all I have to do is this. You've got to fucking chug your
it
way
depends
away.
also. I mean, there's also the distance, and distance also.
It doesn't
is a
matter if you
factor
can
there.
barely move. Again, if you are like making like a foot a minute, right?
Mhm.
You're still only going to move a foot a minute. I still only have to do this. And think about if there's some sort of mental lag for some reason, because we have to put in here the element that you can only move forwards, right? And then if you want to turn, it's going to take you like a minute to start getting the turn on. Whereas I'm over here it takes me a lot more less effort to do this than it takes you to move your
But you're not
entire
moving the hand.
body.
You're moving you have to move the entire body. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It takes me less effort to and you moving your entire fucking self.
that was your last statement.
Again, it's an argument that we had there that you clearly still disagree on, but I wish that we were like a bigger channel where we could like, and then we cut to the field where we tested the idea. Because I believe this is easily testable, and I think I've seen it before in other things. That's why I'm so confident that I'm fucking right. But obviously the only thing we could really do was like, hey, ChatGPT, what do you think?
Yeah, let's not do that.
Well, I mean, I'm not against it. Literally doing tests like this is like what ChatGPT is actually good for, analyzing information. We're not asking it to make art or some shit for us. That's literally was just watching that Red Letter Media about AI slop.
Oh, then that was your last.
No, actually, I lied. I have 17 more notes. Unfortunately, they all are actually just segmented parts of this last argument.
Yeah, we could be here for a while. Yeah.
So when the Libra fires on a dove, which may or may not be a pigeon.
Yeah. I don't think it was the firing. It was the impact and shockwave that drew the doves or pigeons.
So with that said, I guess there's nothing left to do but hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
So actually, we were just talking about, before we started the episode proper, I was talking about I would watched Dan to Dan in English by mistake because there's a character who's singing something in Japanese. The episode I'm talking about is filled with Gundam references. Like the song apparently refers to Char. But yeah, no, there's he has an alarm clock that wakes him up in the morning. It does that little sunlight off the side of the earth sort of thing. So that's a reference there. He's got a picture of RX-78-2 in his locker. To try and get the guy's attention, he actually makes a gunpla real quick and is like holding it in front of him, trying to get his attention. The dude does a bunch of Gundam stuff to the point where later in the episode, they have like this nanotech stuff where it's like, oh, maybe we can use this to fight the kaiju thing that's coming our way. And he's like, imagination, I've got that. And it's very clear that
Yeah.
he's trying to make a Gundam or a mecha of some sort.
Yeah.
But I think he's actually trying to make God damn it, Voltes 5 is the thing in my head. Voltron. I think he's trying to make a Voltron because like all 5 characters like go all their different ways in different parts of the thing. And it turns out another character said that they needed something big, and she was thinking Buddha in her head, so now it's like a Buddha mecha, that thing. But the episode's filled with Gundam references.
I never understood the multi-part having everybody control at the same time. I never understood that mechanic. I know why they do it, but...
Well, sometimes it's not. Like, Voltes 5 is coming to my head. Technically, there are 5 different mechs that form into one thing. But it's just Kenichi. It's just Kenichi controlling it. When they form together, he's just controlling all of them, even though there's 5 units in one. Like, they're all in there. They're all just sitting in different parts of the body, just doing nothing.
I mean, if you were like, oh, you control weapons and I control the sensors, that would make more sense. But if it's just you move the leg and I punch with this, and that doesn't.
Again, I said that the guy should have been taken off the controls. Because look how much they moved away from the beam while the beam was firing. Not at all. Meaning if they had fired up a little bit, they would have hit it completely. Yeah, now Zex is on his way back because he says Dorothy couldn't handle the control. Yeah.
And he just let him go. You could have stopped him there. You shoot him down, and that's the end of that. But I guess that's not how...
Breadcrumbs of the final dispute.
Yeah.
Hey, Quattro, you remember when you did this? It was like a space version of how Garma died.
Oh, yeah. Like, oh, yeah, because that's where the...
when they were under the dome,
white base.
Sports dome.
Yeah, that white base, yeah.
But I sure love when they brought up the idea that we're, like, working everyone to death. Attrition is how we're going to take them down. And now everyone's just fine, continuing to work. So it's just a one-episode thing. Quattro just had it for one episode.
Can't believe he agreed. Yeah. Well, there you go. You have to rest.
No, the idea was also the mechanics were getting tired. But now, not a thing.
Wouldn't that be a perfect target to just get wiped out by the Libra, though?
Except that it's damaged.
Well, I'm sure they're going to try to repair it, though.
That they formed a one-world government with nothing fighting them anymore on Earth? So they can bring all their weapons to space without any fear of contradiction? Seems to me.
Oh, now we're in Battletech.
No, we've seen these before.
So, yeah.
Remember when Quattro got left back on Earth?
Yeah. Still has the Battletech dropship thing to it.
Looks like exactly like the same thing that they use in Universal Century.
Which makes sense.
Nicole, is that you?
I did. Oh yeah, they're gonna try to do a orbit quo kind of scenario. I remember.
武力をもって平和を乱す元凶であるホワイトファングを排除してこそ地球圏に真の安息が訪れる。兵士諸君、平和と秩序のために全力で戦うことを期待する。
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You guys are handling air control. We need you on the controls.
Oh wait, what's happening? Hey, we don't have the vector. What the hell? Explosion behind them. Very airplane.
All the ships crashing in the air.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the next time on.
Which means what? That she flew this thing from the colony to here? Because otherwise the idea would be she was already here and now she's coming back. Well, I mean, it's a sign of a final battle. Was it? You melted some of the panels, that was about it. I guess they destroyed some of their own engines. One wonders why I even needed sex.
Yeah. I can do whatever you want. Okay. Why am I actually paying you? Do I have right to check checks or something?
Pretty sure no one's getting paid.
Yeah.
Didn't I just lock you in a room? Why am I letting you out? I remember the scene from Explorers.
Or Star Wars.
Yeah. I was thinking about when they got the thing to make the little spaceship in Explorers. Great, she downloaded the schematics for what? Libra?
Apparently.
I think given the fact that just about everybody had a hand in making the Libra at some point, everyone would know the schematics.
Well, the people who don't know are
no, I mean, Oz was the ones who originally were making it, so they would know it. The Gundams have stolen so much shit from Oz over the time that I think they would just have it too. Remember that, like 20 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Don't know how that's going to help. Literally, the Mercurius has the same stuff. The better version of these two. And it gets defeated all the time. And there's one thing we know about you, Relina. It's that you'll do jack shit. And that other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not the one you were thinking of. I don't think I've ever met that guy.
ピースミリオンへ攻撃するの？
ドロシージョ。
無駄ね。モビルドールなんかでガンダムは落とせないわ。
Take it from me, I've tried both things once.
必ず落としてみせる。我々の未来のためにやっておかなければならないのだ。
そう、ならばどうぞご自由に。決戦を前に大切な戦力を無駄にしなければいいけどね。
作戦を続行しろ。
I mean, she has a point.
そう。
I mean, sure, it's the same thing I brought up on my notes. We have infinite power until we don't.
私は彼らのように強くないわ。一緒に戦うことはできない。だけどやれることはあるはずよ。あなたは十分に強いわ。でも私には何の力もないのかもしれない。とにかくここにいるのは危険です。すぐ脱出した方がいいわ。ええ、そうするわ。せっかく入手したリーブラのデータ届けなくちゃ。
Also, are you trying to... I guess that's the White Fang uniform.
Yeah, the jacket and the...
I was looking at the scarf. The kerchief.
What? You're not doing anything. Except die when...
I'm not big up on news. I haven't been paying attention to the news.
Yeah.
See, even the name didn't ring any bells. I've been too
Were
busy
you, like-
piloting a shuttle.
Yeah. Weren't you like the queen of the world for like 5 minutes? Yeah, well, that happened.
So like, if she didn't know who she was, why did she randomly stop by to talk to her?
Because she overheard. But Dorothy saw
Hey, you're
her,
wearing
so...
a different uniform. I'll talk to you.
何事だ。第五格納庫のハッチが破壊されました。トーラスクルーザーが出ます。何、脱走か。
あのトーラスクルーザー、まっすぐピースミリオンの方へ向かってるわね。
Well, thank God we were just about to attack Peace Million. That lines up well.
メリクリウスとバイエイトを出すのよ。必ずガンダムが来るはずです。
Will it?
指揮は私に任されている。口出しは控えていただきたい。これは子供の遊びではないのだ。
そうよ。戦争ですもん。
What her grandfather should have said.
Yeah. And yet they still do it anyway. You should do this. I don't take orders from you, but I'm still going to do it anyway.
What's the problem of being told what to do and it still being a good idea regardless?
Yeah.
I don't want you telling me, but I was gonna do it anyway.
Anyway, yeah. You're not my mom.
I mean, it's still a dumb idea. I don't know why sending the Mercurius and the V8 out would be any better
to have
than
a fight with the Gundams, that's all.
Yeah, but it's the idea that the combined mobile suit that was made out of them is still better than them. Is it? It's literally an initial move. He moved a pawn two spaces, which means it's an initial pawn move. Also, I think he just centered. That's all he did. He moved a pawn into the center 4 squares, which is like an initial move. It's not a good move, it's just a starter move.
I don't know anything about chess, so...
Well, in initial chess moves, taking control of the center of the board is typically one of the things you want to do. You know, because your king and your queen have a center location, or move from a center spot. So the fact that they're in the middle of the game and neither of them moved to the centerpiece is just, I don't know. It's odd, but it's more odd that they say, that's a great move. Not for nothing, this isn't the first time I've analyzed chess moves in a Gundam show with you. Remember I kept talking about the Gundam Seed Destiny chessboard, what it might mean to what the pieces were and everything?
Yeah.
What does that mean in a 3-dimensional space? Right is locational based to where you're looking. How is anyone going to know where you're looking? Sir, our countdown says the Death Star will be in shooting range of Gavin any time now.
Yeah, in 5 minutes. Why? You don't know what they have.
And she died.
られるわけにはいかないな。あの2機は
Completely unrelated. The Death Star could have shot through the gas giant. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, I don't think so. It would have blown up the gas giant and destroyed Javin with it. Not through
Yeah,
it, though.
cool. That
There
would
is
have
a core.
accomplished the task.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the Death Star, the Empire should have had some less restraint or more restraint?
No, I'm saying that it not through the.
It would have punctured through the gas giant. I don't think it would have destroyed the gas giant.
No, I think there's a core even in the gas giant.
No, they wouldn't have fired through the core. I'm saying when they're going around, if they just turned a little bit and fired through the top layer of the, they wouldn't have gone all the way around. I mean, tangentially, Hilda, you are sort of a main character. You've done so much more than Catherine, or as Lessons would say, Dorothy. Sorry, we all knew someone was gonna jump in front of that, but also, how did she, like, turn and cock her head to know that the blast is coming at her back? That's some Amuro level shit there.
Yeah.
Also, maybe tell him that you have this thing that you need to give him. If she was right behind you, like you should have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally only two of them, though. Shro and Hero. Seriously, Duo, you don't think you could beat Hero and Trowa? Remember when the Death Sight's beam could penetrate Gundanium armor?
Yeah.
And now it
Yeah.
can't?
Well, it's the shields that they're using, not the. Oh, there you go.
Except for the time that you all individually lost against a bunch of dolls in the past.
Well, they upped the animation budget for this fight.
Did they?
Yeah.
We're just jumping into a bunch of shots of swing, dead.
Yeah, but the details on the mechs was much higher than usual. Just pick her up and take her to a hospital or something.
You mean the Peace Million?
Yeah.
Legitimately the only place they could go. Aw, man, you got ketchup all over it.
Ah, she's gonna die.
I mean, she's been in, what, 1/10 of the show?
Yeah.
I'd say probably, what, 5 episodes? Apparently not dead.
ガンダムの必死で戦う姿が見られたのがせめてもの慰みですか。
We didn't, though, because it happened off screen. Ah, tomato juice, just what I needed.
Get that V8.
No, I said I think V8 is a darker shade. That's what my joke is based on. It's so light.
無駄にはしません。ヒーロー。
You mean Gangwon Lee? Mr. Leaner against walls?
あの中でヒルデが出会ったらしい。
Oh, that's disappointing. The soundtrack was going a pretty cool direction.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's back.
But
Nope, now it's gone again.
already psychicking.
Well, no. She would know that Hero
Right.
is on the Peace Million. Hero would have no previous idea that she's on the... I forgot the name of the station for some reason.
The Libra, as a battleship. So
Yeah, for some reason I want to say Lunar Barge. It's like the wrong place.
Yeah, no. That got blown up.
Well, it was also,
Oh, actually-
was not called the Lunar Barge. It was just the barge.
It's called the Barge.
Yeah.
Or not even the Barge. It's called Barge.
Plus, I knew the name started with an L, but it was like started making shit up in my head.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. So that was certainly an episode.
Yeah. Another space
Unguided
filler.
thing. It's like, why would she talk
Yeah.
to Relina, not knowing who
Mhm.
Relina was? Just,
Mhm.
oh, there's a woman in a dress. I better talk to her over anyone. Or
Well, I think she overheard her talking, but even then, that was not enough to just blow her cover, I guess.
well, no, it's just the element of she stops and talks to Relina, and then at the end of it, she's like, "By the way, who are you?" Like,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
I mean, Relina could probably, if she's that strong, she could just take on the entire ship by herself.
No. Also, why is she fighting animals if she's a pacifist?
I mean, she's playing with them, not fighting them.
I don't know. If the animal doesn't want you to pick them up,
Oh,
like they
yeah,
are
the
fighting
animal
against
will
it,
fight
that's
back,
non-consensual
These are
contact.
two male lions, apparently, who are like,
Bob's talking about the
whatever.
gazelle.
ヒーローはリーブラに潜入し、リリーナと共にゼックスの元へ急ぐ。
hell happened there?
トレーズは数千の機構モビルスーツ部隊を率いて出撃した。決闘による決着を望むトレーズに対して、ゼクスはホワイトファングのミリアルドとして騎士道を否定した回答を選択するのであった。新機動戦記ガンダムウィング第46話、ミリアルドの決断。
Really gonna piss him off by not accepting the fight.
Yeah.
I sent you a challenge by shooting the Earth, and then you came up to fight me, and I'm like, no. That's Oh God, what the fuck is his name?
Oh, we get
It came up recently in a reaction I did to Unlimited Blade Works tangentially. Musashi, is that right?
Actually?
Well, God, what's the full name? Musashi. That might not be the author of the Book of Five Rings, famous swordsman.
Musashi. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, the
Setsuna
famous
Sama?
fight that he has on an island where he calls out the
Yeah.
guy and then he just like leaves him out there and he shows up late. So he pisses
Yeah.
off the guy enough that he makes mistakes during the fight. And also he fights in an unexpected manner.
Yeah, he takes an oar and turns it into a sword, basically.
Or he uses it as one. But the idea is that he uses a wooden sword famously in the fight. But the idea that just piss off Trace enough that he
Yeah.
does stuff he wouldn't normally do. I challenge you to a fight now that you're here. No, go home.
Well, actually, he's going to probably use his gun to try to kill them all, so.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it. Not right now, anyway.
Well, the Tallgeese 2 is out. Now we have Epyon being flown by Sex, the new Tallgeese by Trace, and, well, the Gundam by Hero, because, he's a Gundam.
Well, the
pilot,
Gundam
so.
by 5 people. Because it's more than
Yeah.
one Gundam.
Yeah, I know, but the Zero being the premier Gundam of them
You
all.
say that, but it was made in a 3D printer. That could have made
Apparently
any
that-
number of them.
Yeah.
And again, not for nothing, they're all Gundams. This is a ensemble thing.
True. But the most powerful of them all is Zero, apparently.
You
with
say
the
that.
big gun.
People are going to argue.
Yeah, so filler episode, basically. Another filler episode until we get to the
I mean, you
final
say
battles.
that, again, the Hildy thing could turn out to be the many Bothans died to get us this information. To bring us back to Star Wars again.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't see how that's going to be valuable information, because legitimately it doesn't seem to matter where you hit a thing. Epyon can hit the barge in the middle and the whole fucking thing explodes. Anyone can show up and just like start chopping off the wings off of Libra.
Yeah. Or hit the gun or something like that. I don't. Or maybe, well, I mean, depending on the next time on, a hero's going to try his rescue mission, so maybe he does need the plans in order to be able to rescue her. Not that they ever needed
rescue
plans
mission
on
or
anything.
assassination mission.
Well, depending on, well, yeah. There's Hero.
If he's there to rescue Relina, because he just found out Relina's there, then why'd he go talk to Zex? Unless he was going there to kill Zex.
But this being the show that it is, I don't think he's going to kill him.
Yes, well, obviously he's not going to kill him, but you and I both know how the show ends. Which is the element that we don't know the minutia between here and there. So he goes there, and he has to go talk to Zex. So if he clearly was there to kill Zex as well as rescue Relina, nothing says that he can have two-part mission.
True. He never actually pulls that trigger, does he?
On what?
On Relina? On
clearly he does. We
Trace?
both know that he gets married in a future manga or novel.
No, I mean literally the gun trigger. Every time he points a gun on somebody, he never pulls the trigger. He's never actually shot anybody with that gun of his.
I feel like he has. Did he not shoot at the ambulance drivers?
Nope, he scared them off.
No, I think he shoots them through the window, and that's why they stop the ambulance.
No, they stopped because Relina called them to get help, and they're in the stairway.
I swear he scares them away. I swear that I have seen a shot where the camera is straight on with him with the gun, and he pulls the trigger. I just can't remember what he's shooting at.
No, he doesn't shoot
normally he's in his tank top when he's in that one, the green tank top.
I know. He doesn't shoot Relina when he could have. He doesn't shoot Sex when he could have.
I know, I'm saying that. You're saying he never pulls the trigger, and I swear to God, he's pulled the trigger before. I just don't remember the scene, because in my memory, it is just him straight on, pointing the gun at camera, and then the thing goes off. Oh, doesn't he shoot at Duo?
No, Duo shot him.
Yeah, but doesn't he shoot back? I remember there's a reason that Duo has to step away, or is it Relina that shoots at Duo?
Relina points a gun at him and shoots to try to stop him.
No, because Hero has a gun.
Killing.
Hero has a gun, and he's diving and he's shooting. So I think he does shoot at Duo, and then Duo shoots him back. There's a pole I remember that Duo's behind because he's avoiding getting shot.
We get shot in the arm, and that's when
Hero gets shot in the arm. I'm just saying that Duo. Does Duo get shot in the leg? No, Duo gets shot. I know Hero shoots at Duo in that scene,
but doesn't hit.
Well, it doesn't matter. You said he never pulls the trigger. I'm just arguing. I'm not arguing that he ever hits anybody. I'm only arguing that he does eventually.
I don't think he ever got to shoot that in that sense. I will have to go all the way back to episode 3 or 4. I mean,
yeah, you have to rewatch the entire fucking show. Because again, I know that Hero does pull the trigger on a front-on camera shot. I just don't know what he's shooting at in that one. Technically, he does pull the trigger. He pulls the trigger when he's shooting at the torpedoes that he's firing out.
I'm talking about people, not
You said does he never pull the trigger? He has pulled. Again, I've been stating the argument. You say he never pulls the trigger, and I'm saying he has pulled the trigger. I'm equivocally stating to you, I do not remember all the situations he's pulled the trigger for. But that's definitely one. For sure, no argument.
That's at least once. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the thing about this episode is the Hilda thing was like, oh, is she going to die? No, she wasn't.
It doesn't make any sense where she came from.
Yeah.
The idea that she's piloting this thing in, but there's nothing around Space Station Libra. Or sorry, Battle Station Libra, whatever the fuck. There's nothing around Libra. So this thing would be seen coming in from the same distance that Dorothy's shuttle or Relina's shuttle was spotted coming in from.
It could have been that she stole a shuttle from the White Fang. That's why they let her in.
That would imply that she was already here, in which case, why is she leaving and coming back?
I mean, the Wi-Fi has to have other places where they operate, not just the Libra.
You say that everything's coming from the Libra right now.
I mean, it's where they're getting their food and water and stuff like that.
Nowhere. It's all on the Libra. They took all the
Yeah, but that-
resources from everywhere else and they put it on the Libra. That's the point of having this fight where all of Trace's units are on like a rock, and then all of White Fang's forces are on White Fang. You can't have any forces anywhere else. Otherwise, it defeats the point of this. This is everything at once battle. The final
I'm
battle.
talk about the logistics of the place, not merely the fighting forces. You destroy the fighting forces, and yeah,
Forget about that.
I mean, it's a shuttle, so I think it has to do with the logistics. They're getting some support from.
No,
the
I mean,
colonies.
forget about it. Like, legitimately, forget about it. You're looking outside the scope of Gundam Wing. You're like, what's happening? Like, if you're bringing up the logistics, might as well, where did the carrier fleet go? Like, legitimately, you're getting hung up on a thing that the show does not fucking care about.
That is very true.
I'm talking about only from the element of, we watched them have a whole conversation with Dorothy when she's trying to fly in, so clearly they monitor this stuff. They had a whole conversation with Alina when she tried to fly in. You do that back to back across 2 episodes. You can't show me Hildy flying in and then being like, oh, well, forget that one. We just did this thing back to back twice. And the idea that this shuttle couldn't have come from Libra because she's already here. I mean, she's going there. So it had to come from the outside. And it's like, well, they're just not monitoring ships coming in from the outside? No, they have to be. We just got shown it twice.
It comes from somewhere. Last time we saw her, she was in a colony, so
that's my point.
From there.
They didn't monitor a ship just coming in from outside. They didn't even try to bother giving us the Star Wars thing. Oh, here's our access codes. They're old access codes. Let her in anyway.
One for the notes.
And then Cans comes along. That's a voice I've not heard in a long time.
Yeah. That's my daughter. What?
Yes, my name is also Hildy, whatever her last name is. Hildy Dorothy.
Hildy Dorothy, yeah. Yeah, this episode. Stuff happened. Not very consequential stuff at all.
Again, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be, again, the Bothan thing. You're like, can't write off the Bothan thing because it's the predecessor to how the entire Death Star operation happened.
Well, the Bothans happened on the second Death Star, not the first one.
All I said was the Death Star thing happened.
Yeah.
I think you'll find that the second Death Star was still a Death Star.
Yeah.
Arguably
like
the better Death Star.
Well, it was incomplete, so.
Yeah, but it was still fully operational, as we all know, famously. But it was also the larger one. I think you go Death Star prototype, that it gets out when it escapes the maw. Death Star 1. Literally, they're in order. They're in order of how good they are.
In the new canon,
technically, there's
there was
two,
no prototype.
Then technically, there's the 2 Death Stars that were floating around Coruscant that nobody knew about. That's in the books.
That's no canon anymore.
I don't give a shit.
That's legends.
I don't give a shit. Some people consider the old canon to be canon.
Oh, yeah, but that's...
Because some people would rather have all of the old canon, which, by the way, is still more than the new canon stuff, despite how many shows they fucking make, and comics and books. There's still more of Legend stuff than there is of the currently being made stuff.
Even back then, Legends wasn't canon because Lucas didn't consider it
was canon. He did consider the books canon.
No.
Yes, he did, because that's why when they released the was it not Heir to the Empire? What was the video game? They considered that to be an expansion of the canon universe, and that was then itself based on stuff from the books. A lot of the stuff from the books got canonized by Lucas himself. Yeah, he signed off on that shit.
Now, most of it wasn't canon. Like
most of it was, in fact, canon, because it had to be canon before it was allowed to be made. They basically said, Timothy Zahn, do what you will.
Expanded Universe was
canon.
Not canon.
You know what, Lessons? This is good. Yeah, this is the I can't let you have the last word thing. You know what? I don't have to worry about that. Future me will handle that. I'm going to say, though, not trying to get the last word here, but I will get the last word. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, and this petty version of me also won't appear in that letter.
Yeah.
But this is going to be one of those things we just are going to disagree about. So I don't see the point of just going back and forth for another 5 minutes. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
True enough.
I just know that I spent my late 90s dealing with this shit. So
I read most of them until I got tired of them.
no, I meant dealing with the canon versus non-canon argument, not specifically talking about having read the books. I only really owned 3 of the books. The Tsuruvi ones and Chusabakura, which is also technically a Tsuruvi book.
Yeah. I read all of them except for the first, up to the first book of the Yusan Wong, and I was like, I don't care about this anymore.
Yeah, Chusabakura. I can't remember the second book. The one they come back, which is post, or I guess pre-Yuzong Wong invasion, but the Yuzong Wong are there because it's implied that they destroyed the Tsuruvi homeworld before the Shis and sorry, so many groups are now in my head because of Gundam.
The Harpers?
No,
Harpen?
the Republic, the New Republic,
Oh.
The New Republic and Shis fleets show up to the Shis homeworld and find that the Tsuruvi homeworld, and find that it's already been ruined. And then there's just another one that I don't remember the name of. It's the one that deals with one of the Solo twins. I think it's the one where what's his name dies. My favorite Star Wars character.
Chewbacca?
Why would Chewbacca be my favorite Star Wars character?
You're a pretty cool character.
No, Pelion.
Pelion.
Why would Chewbacca be my favorite Star Wars? Oh, just thinking now that you know that Pelion is my favorite Star Wars character, and you think Chewbacca would be my favorite Star Wars character.
I mean, famous character that
I would definitely drop a moon on that guy.
Yeah.
Famously how he dies.
Oh, then anything else?
Only that this recording has been, I think, I said Hildy showed up in like a 10th of the episodes, and I think this recording has been a 10th Star Wars discussion.
Mm-hmm.
No, it hasn't. Yes. No, it hasn't.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, but it's random when you do that.
Oh, no. When you have a point, I agree with you.
Yeah, but you never agree with me when I have a point.
Unless I don't agree if I don't concede the point.
No, I'm not going to. I can understand how what I said was very confusing. You say you agree with me when I have a point. And I said, yeah, but you don't agree with me when I have a point. And the emphasis should be on when.
Oh, yes.
You don't agree when I have a point, which is to say that I can't judge when you're going to agree that my point is valid. So you agree with me when I have a point, when you decide that I have a point. Obviously, I think I always have a point, otherwise I wouldn't bring it up.
Yeah. Semantics.
Or linguistics. Or doves. And pigeons.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, with all that said, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?